Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in. Listen, I'm calling this Breakfast Bites with Bridget. Listen, I'm moving some stuff. Hold on just 1 second. I'm coming in here. Hey, everybody. My name is Bridget Brown Jackson. I am a behavior wealth strategist. I love talking all things about behavior and the wealth in your behavior. So for the month of February, we're coming in every day with some Black history leadership legends. And today, guess what? We are doing Thurgood Marshall. Today, we're talking about Thurgood Marshall. It's day number 13. My goal is to come in, be in and out within 5 minutes. Some days it's been taking about 7. Today, hopefully, we'll keep it down to the 5. But listen, if you didn't know about Thurgood Marshall, now you're going to know. Listen, Thurgood Marshall was sworn in as a Supreme Court justice, and he became the first African American Supreme Court justice. Listen, a big deal, a big deal. Not only that, he was instrumental in ending legal segregation within the school systems. And again, he made history. You all might know it. Brown versus Board of Education. Literally, he was a part of that. But before he did that, he actually did some other cases. And one of the things that he did before the Supreme Court was fighting on behalf of a Florida man who he was able to keep him from being convicted because his testimony was coerced. Listen, he did a lot of work. And you all probably remember, if you've been watching this, day number 11, just 2 days ago, we talked about his predecessor or his mentor. We talked about none other than Charles Houston. He was Thurgood Marshall's mentor. Now, Thurgood Marshall literally was amazing again in the things that he was able to do. He began working through the NAACP first. And if hopefully everybody that's listening to this, you know what the NAACP stands for. But he started working for them first, and then he had the pleasure of being brought on to the Supreme Court after he had done a lot of legal work. Now, as a lawyer, I'll tell you, it wasn't easy for him. When he first graduated and came out, he was a genius. He was absolute genius. He graduated the top in his class. Amazing, brilliant mind, but he wasn't able to start his own law firm. So he decided he was going to go work for the NAACP. And so as he started working through them, again, his mentor, Charles Houston, was able to mold and help him, brought him in on some cases, and they wrote history. Now, mind you, you might know or not know a lot about him. He was up there. He's up there with Malcolm X. He's up there with Martin Luther King, but he just chose a different way of going about things. And so for those of you in leadership, we have to realize that we can learn from other people. I always say this, we stand on the shoulders of giants. And so his great achievements of being a civil rights lawyer won him victory over and over again. And again, the most infamous case being Brown versus Board of Education, because he was able to say before the court that segregation was not appropriate. And guess what? The courts found that too as well. He spent 24 years on the bench, but had a whole lot of struggles with other people and trying to do. So let me tell you his foundational leadership qualities that we can learn and glean from. Okay, his leadership qualities that we can learn and glean from. Number one, he was pragmatic. In other words, he was practical. He was very practical. So again, if I look at Martin Luther King and look at Malcolm X, if we look at how we can put Thurgood Marshall in there, Malcolm X was about nonviolence. Martin Luther King was about nonviolence, but doing, again, civil rights. Malcolm X was like, no, we're gonna do, we're gonna stand up for ourselves. So he was more about defense and everything, right? We have Marshall that comes in and he's like, no, we're going to go the legal route with this, right? And so he was more pragmatic. So as leaders, how can you become pragmatic at times? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm not a pragmatic type person. I'm more emotional. And so how do you Again, be more pragmatic. Number two, he shared inspired vision. So he was able to articulate his vision for the future. So, as a leader, how are you able to infuse your vision? And then, number three, last but definitely not least, he pushed against the status quo. He was like, no, this is not right. We have to segregate the schools. We have to have quality more. And as we look at it now, there was some harm with some of the segregation. But here's what actually did happen, though. Equality was then on the forefront. So looking at that, so he challenged existing norms and the paradigms of others. How can you do that as a leader? Again, my name is Bridget Brown Jackson. It has been great to have been with you today. I am, again, a behavioral wealth strategist. We talk all things about behavior. So I help organizations help develop their teams. So again, you can have wealth in your behavior. Today is day number 13. We featured Thurgood Marshall. Please come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's person is very dear and near to my heart. I will see you tomorrow.